Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're live here at Goose's Goats, 250 Ridge Pike, right here in Royceford, PA, 19468. And we have the pleasure with some outstanding guests in the building today. Everyone put your hands together for Fratello Cigars and Beer.
Love it.
Now, Goose, before we go on, we meet Omar and Tia for the first time. How do you know this guy? And how long have you been carrying his cigars here at Goose's Lounge?
Well, I played with Omar in an over 40 basketball league.
Oh,
and that's why I permanently have Wilson inscribed in the front, Spalding on my forehead. Out of the 7 shots I attempted, he blocked 6. D. He blocked 6. D.
I think Kemba would.
This is not good.
But what happened to that one? Did it go in?
The other one went in. I got lucky. I shot it with my left hand, and I'm right-handed, so it was off to. But I known Omar for a long time. He's a great owner of a great brand called Fratello. He'll tell his story, how he got into the business. It's a very unique story. It's a story that he plays off of with the front marks and branding of the Fratello cigars. He's an affable big man. He's like us.
Nice.
Like us.
We like big men.
He's an affable big guy with an over the top personality, like 2 guys I know here.
And I mean, you did mention Spalding, but Omar actually played some basketball, right? He played overseas for years, right?
He's not a Hall of Famer like you.
Oh, well,
I don't think he's. Maybe he is. I don't know. We got a long night here. He's going to tell us about his career.
But we do know he has some basketball, so he's down with us. He's definitely a GOAT. We have to make him a GOAT.
Yes,
number one.
Yes.
And Tia is remarkable too. I mean, she is absolutely beautiful. We congratulate and welcome them to our show.
Yes.
They are now Goose's Goats. Also, Big D. Check this out. Along with the name Fratello, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what frat means? Brother.
Exactly.
Like brotherhood.
So we saying, is that what Fratello
That's
means?
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Right,
so shout out to all the fraternities and sororities. Next time that you're out, or you can come to Goose's Lounge right here, 250 West Ridge Pike right here in Royceford, and get your Fratello beer.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Hey,
it's the new thing to drink. So shout out to all the members of Omega Sci-Fi, all the members of Kappa Alpha Psi. We only got 2.5 million fraternities and sororities to go on today. Check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever the case may be. So give a shout out to your brothers, man.
Hey, man. Shout out to the brothers of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, founded November 17th, 1911. So definitely, man, 1911 thing is popular here, Kappa Alpha Psi. You know, my good brother Flo here. So we always definitely want to celebrate, and it's really a good time right here today.
I just love the name.
Goose, just enjoying everything. I love the name.
We love Omar.
Fratello.
I'm loving you guys already, man. Woo!
A lot of energy.
We're gonna come here again. This is fantastic.
So, D, with that being said, along with Goose, Omar, tell us about yourself, man. Take your time. We got, nothing but time. We want to know about NASA. We want to know about your basketball career. We want to know how you came up with the name and how are you pushing a great product like the cigars. What's the name of all the cigars? Can we smoke them? Can we try it out? And we also want to know about your beer. Get ahead, sir. Welcome to the show.
First of all, thank you so much to you guys. Cheers to allowing us to come over here away from Washington, D.C. And obviously you're local. Tia, for joining us as well. I'll tell you, not only do I don't take for granted the opportunity that we get for just to tell a little bit about our story to your viewers and get a chance to just, talk cigars, talk shop, talk stories, and then obviously get a chance to some people haven't had Fratello or haven't had the Fratello beer to obviously connect with Tia and I while we're here. But I started Fratello in 2013. We're going to have a video that is going to show up shortly after I tell you a little bit about our story. But I started Fratello in 2013, and it was a passion move, 100%. I'm going to be honest, and Tia's heard me say this before. This wasn't something that I was going to look into, like, this is going to be my passion, this is going to be my life. I was looking for something that was different, that was unique, that I could tie myself to the story and that I would love, right? So I love a few things. I love alcohol. I love cigars, right? And so the alcohol aspect seemed very hard at the moment to basically get in and jump in, especially when there's so many regulations, so many other things. So cigars made a lot of sense. So I'll fast forward a little bit. at that time I was still employed. I used to work at NASA in Washington D.C.
Wow.
It's usually when you say that, people think, I assume you're very smart, but I'm really not. So just maybe it's just a suit,
I
but
don't know, maybe. I thought you were an astronaut or something.
no,
You know?
they don't allow me.
How you fit in
They don't allow me. They don't allow me. I mean, I tried. I found out it was like 6'4" is the max. So I already knew they had to build a brand new one just for me. But I was there for 12 years, guys, and I was there. One of the last job I had was I was managing a $5 billion budget for science. Mission directorate, and we had the execution of that budget across all the NASA centers. And so it was a great opportunity for me to see the programmatic side of the house inside and out. So I started Fratello because it was a passion for me. I wanted to do something that I really, really enjoy, really love. And man, fast forward from the moment in 2013 to the moment I quit NASA to sell cigars full time was about 3.5 years, where it's probably when the time that I met you as well. I was probably still working at NASA when I met you, because I was going on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, working 12-hour days, and then flying to my destination on a Wednesday night or a Thursday morning, telework for NASA on a Thursday, and then repeated Friday, Saturday, come back home on Sunday. I did that for 3.5 years straight. Tia, you met me while I was still at NASA for. Yeah, it was literally launched, but I would go from leave Washington D.C. Definitely not more hair because I didn't have
He was
hair
5'2"
then. But it was good, I remember leaving NASA in D.C. area around 6:30, and then arriving here around 10 o'clock at night and try to meet with people in the morning. It was, It was a mess, but it was good.
Worth it though, right?
Man, I wouldn't look back at that decision. I think it was a great decision.
Okay.
To go full time.
So Big O, how did you come up with the name?
So it's my nickname from college.
Oh.
Yeah, interesting name behind this. I'm not gonna lie, man. I was just busting people's balls. Yeah. I was just saying I learned how to say Fratello in which Fratello means brother in Italian. Mm-hmm. So I was in the Dominican Republic, you call people mi hermano, what's up, my brother? What's up, brother? Right. As I started, what's up, my Fratello? People started calling me my Fratello. I was no, mother, don't call me my Fratello. I'm really you, Fratello. And they just started backfiring at me, man. Okay. I'm gonna be in the Dominican Republic in 4 days. I landed in the Dominican Republic and it's my Fratello. People don't even know my name sometimes.
Wow, they know you.
It's nickname from college.
That's nice.
So obviously it made sense to me.
That's nice. All right, with that being said, White Chocolate, can you please go and bless us with this awesome video?
White Chocolate, I love it. Aristotle said that quality is not an act, it's a habit. The quality of cigars begins right here. From sourcing the highest quality tobaccos to the craft of rolling our cigars, Fratello's biggest advantage is always the pride of the people of Dominican Republic and Nicaragua. They are proud of the hand they play when their country gets regarded as producers of the best cigars in the world. Growing up in the Dominican Republic was all about basketball. I've been playing basketball since I was 10 years old. And it was my life. It was all I wanted to do. All I wanted to do was go to the court, play ball. What was interesting before, as I was applying for opportunities and jobs while doing my MBA, NASA was recruiting at the University of Puerto Rico, and there were 400 plus candidates, people applying from all sorts of backgrounds, and they were looking for two positions. One was a engineer position in Cape Canaveral, and another one was a management analyst position in DC. And so when I had the opportunity to apply, I went through about 6-7 different interview process. I did roughly about 2 trips to basically meet with the people who were going to be the selecting officials for this position. So had to do a lot of writing, a lot of information. There was a lot of background checks, and I was lucky enough to be one of those 400 people that was selected for this position at NASA back in 2020.
I got a message from a good friend of mine that forwarded me the Stanford Address by Steve Jobs. And he said, and in his Stanford Address, I saw something that connected incredibly with me. And he said that the only way to do great work is to love what you do. I started trying to find out what was that one thing that I absolutely 100% loved. And the one thing that I've been doing since I was 17 years old is smoking cigars. The moment we launched Fratello was July 2013. Coming into a trade show like that, you're thinking, well, there's thousands of cigar shops. I produce well over 30,000 cigars at my first production. So I did a lot of research, obviously. Coming from an agency like NASA where we do research and development, that was my one thing. So I started reading every publication I could get my hands on. I started reading books. I started traveling to Nicaragua, Dominican Republic, Honduras, just doing research and trying to find out as much information as I possibly could about something that I knew nothing about. I just knew I loved smoking cigars, but everything about the process, everything about the people, everything about the tobacco, everything about the agriculture aspect of tobacco is something that I had no idea what it was all about. But at least I did my research, I did my business plan, and I started the business in 2013. There is one thing that makes my day every single day is every day I wake up or I, open up social media or open up a website or see someone smoking my cigar. That gentleman or that lady is giving us, an hour and a half of their lives. They spend their money to basically try something that we work so hard to do. And so for me, the pleasure that brings me and the level of happiness and pride is unmeasurable. I thought about complete industry takeover. I thought about, I want my cigars and as many points of sales, but that's not what it's all about for me. I would love to have my daughter walk around 30 years from now and bump into someone on the street smoking a cigar, remind herself that her father did the exact same thing and he enjoys it, hopefully still does by that time, but that the cigar that he or she is smoking is a Fratello, and that she feels pride that we built something great, something that will bring either joy or relaxation to a large number of people, and that it translates into pride for her and for my son in the future.
That is awesome.
That's awesome.
Big
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
right.
Goose and D, he took pictures with Neil Armstrong.
Look at
That's
that.
crazy. That is history. That's
That's
crazy.
crazy, man.
That's next level stuff.
Now, let me ask you about the journey from looking at you working at NASA. It doesn't say cigars, right? It doesn't say cigars. It doesn't say beer. It's like a career trajectory wouldn't take you from NASA to cigars. So just tell me a little bit about that transition and how you finally made that decision and say, this is what I love.
And did he turn down? I'm sure he
question.
turned down a bunch of money that he was making at NASA to
Absolutely.
do it at the time. I mean, he probably walked away from at least a couple hundred, three, probably. I'm guessing three. I'm guessing at least 300,000. Easy.
He walked away from something.
It's
Yeah,
definitely
that's
a
what
walk
I'm
away.
saying.
I want to hear
That's
about
the
that.
truth.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
want to hear about that walk away.
Like, I don't need that. I'm gonna go do something else. You know what I mean? 300,000, $250,000. He walked away from it
There
like
is a
it
true
wasn't
story.
nothing.
There is
He had to
something
make a
true.
phone call or text somebody like,
I'm doing cigars now. I'm doing cigars now.
You're 100% right. That's a great question too, and I don't get asked that question often, but it's something that I'm not gonna lie, I think about often, because if there was something that I can do, so I at NASA I was also management and source evaluation boards. I would be participating in, selecting officials as for a particular contract or a big mission or something. So the inside knowledge and inside track that I brought to somebody who would be interested in working at NASA or working, with NASA as a contractor is massive. So I got a few offers and even more so a potential partnership came up as I was leaving to do contracting for NASA, since I was a GS-15, which is the highest position as a general government that you can get into for NASA. So I was like, it was prime, right? So to say that I walked away from a good chunk of change, I'm not gonna lie, is the truth. Okay. Yeah. But the thing about that though is like, if I would have to write a proposal or have to like read another proposal, I would rather gouge my right eye, slowly with a spoon, just get it out, because it would be too much. Like the amount of contracting proposals that I read and having to write them down. And sure, there's a lot of money in the business. There's no question about that. And I'm a Hispanic man as well. There's a lot of benefits in the government to move some of those, federal funds that a lot of people don't know about. But I know very well where to good and look into these kinds of things. But I'd rather be happy, man. And that was that decision maker for you. That was it. I was going through, the video says it very well. I was going through a time at NASA where I was like, I had already achieved like the highest level position in the agency by the time I was 30 years old. I was a GS-15 by that time. And I kind of did my job for 3 years and I did it well. And I got bored and I needed more. I needed to do something extra. And so, alcohol and, beer and cigars.
Why not, about that, man? Why not? Follow your passion, right, Goose?
Yeah, absolutely.
Follow your passion.
You certainly have. When you see Omar at a trade show, D, I mean, he's an imposing figure. He stands at the booth, and it gets kind of embarrassing because he elbows people. He goes, "Come on, get in here,
Bow,
buy the cigar, right?
Bow."
I'm like, John, where are you going again? No. Order. You tried a couple of times. Like, I'll be back. It's like, John, no. Let's write this order.
Big O, can you do me a favor? Please introduce your partner.
Yes.
I know she's a supermodel. I know she's been in the business. I see that she is wearing the brand. She's sporting the shirt. She's smoking a cigar. She's drinking the beer. She's all in. Could you please introduce her to the rest of the world of social media? And after that, when you're finished and she's finished conversing and talking, we're going to go through a really fast, and you're going to introduce all your cigars, and then you're going to introduce all your beer, and we're going to smoke as many.
I want to introduce and smoke it all.
That's
baby.
right.
That's
right.
I want to smoke it all.
So please introduce Tia and how you guys met and the role that she plays in your company and how special she is to the brand.
Love it. So here's something. It really is a great story. I met Tia literally as I was starting off Fratello. It was 2013. My first account was at one of my first accounts in the entire US was out here in Pennsylvania. And there was a big event that was happening. And I'm going to be honest with you, I had no idea what the hell was going on. Like I had no idea even how to do an event. I had no idea what I needed to ask to do an event. I had no idea that, the kind of deals that you should run to do an event. I had zero clues. You might have in mind, right? Like it was 3-4 months me in, and I had the pleasure of bumping into Tia at this cigar shop. And what was great was I remember her so well because she came around and immediately the first thing she says is like, "How can I help you?" And I'm like, "Well, shit. It's just like maybe help me some cigars, sell some cigars." Absolutely. Let me introduce you to such and such. So she would pick up a couple of people and bring them over to my table and say, "If you need any help, she can help you with this. I'm gonna go run around. I'm gonna go back." And I was like, "Man, this one is incredibly effective." And I did great. And so fast forward, Tia was also participating in this TV show. And it was like I was there a couple of times, so I would just swing by. I probably saw you in 6-7 years before you started working for Fratello, probably at least 10 times, 10-15 times all day long.
And every time I see him, I say, "Pick me up."
That's true. And so I was at the cigar shop and we were talking and I was mentioning that I had a really big need for somebody who can just have an ability to be able to converse, that can because it's not easy when
You need that
when the cigar
personality.
smokers. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
no,
Like,
He didn't say conversate.
No, you need that personality.
He didn't say.
You need that personality. That's awesome, man. That's
and then
awesome.
all of a sudden, man, I was like, it was a no-brainer. Like, I was like, I'm really looking for this. This is like the kind of support that I'm looking for. And one of the guys is like, bro, Tia can do this. Like, I'm like, what? Tia? Where is Tia? Because I was looking for her at the shop. It's like, no, she just had a baby and stuff like that. I'm like, let me give her a call. And I called Tia. Obviously, we had a great conversation, and she accepted the position as sales executive for Fratello and the representative for Fratello in the state of Pennsylvania, which is one of the biggest tobacco states. And so I'm incredibly proud to have her represent Fratello in this area, and the job that she's been doing up to date has been amazing. So
Cool.
Tia is awesome.
So real quick, where's home base for Fratello? Where's home base?
So Virginia is where her headquarters are
I
at.
thought he was going to
Okay.
say Dominican Republic.
I know,
Yes.
right? It's a pretty
Let's
nice.
go.
We gotta go visit.
Let's go.
When's that office opening up?
Right, let's go right now.
Let's go.
When's that office opening up?
I was gonna say, let's go.
We ready to leave now.
That's
We like,
right.
all
There
right.
you go. There you
Goose
go.
already got a private
Factory
plane.
tour.
We get on Goose's private plane. You know what I mean? We already got the cigars
The
and all the
helicopter.
beer.
We got what
We
we
need
need.
nothing else.
Exactly. We get,
We don't
yeah,
need
hey,
nothing
come on,
else.
come on.
Let's all go, baby. Let's all go.
So
Tia,
home
what's
base
your-
is Virginia.
What's your favorite Fratello cigar?
My
Because
favorite Fratello is the Oro. So I'm biased on that one. I mean, it is phenomenal. And the reason why, so I'll give you a little background on me real quick before I jump into that. But I've been in the business since, 2007.
Nice.
I was a little baby when I first started. And you can find me on IG and Facebook at Cigar Goddess. So that's what they call me. My name, Tia, in Greek means goddess. So we were trying to figure out like some kind of name for me, and my girlfriend came up. She said, "My name means goddess." Like, I know. She goes, "What about the Cigar Goddess?" And I'm like, "Perfect." You know. That's,
Oh, you got an awesome nickname like White Chocolate.
Yeah.
I got it. I get it.
I want a nickname too. All Fratello.
I'm
mean, what a
we
new
come
one.
up with one.
Come on with a
I'm
one.
sure. We got you. We got you, Big O. Yeah, we got you.
Oh, you
Big O.
flow?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of like a really
Yeah,
good
yeah,
for
yeah.
you,
Yeah,
huh?
you got it. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
Big D. Oh, man.
You know, I go by
What are
Flo.
you, Black Mamba?
Well,
I'm Goose.
Goose calls me other names, but we ain't gonna go there. But I'm sorry, T. Get ahead, finish.
So I've been, in the business for a long time, and I forgot where I was going with that, but anyway. So yes, the Oro is my favorite. Now, when I first started, I liked Maduro cigars only. For some reason, the Connecticut's, I just did not like them. And then I tried a Fratello Oro, and I was like, "What? This is not your regular Connecticut. It's an Ecuadorian Connecticut, but it's still not your regular Ecuadorian Connecticut cigar.
Yeah.
It to me has a lot of flavor. It's creamy. It's got just enough of that white pepper, and it just keeps you interested while you're smoking it, and that's so important. And I found like a lot of Connecticut's just bored me, and after like 3 or 4 puffs, I don't even give you a chance. If you don't impress me, as soon as I light it up, it's hard for me to stay interested. And so his Oro definitely kept me interested, and I was like, I love this cigar. So,
Now I'm gonna go first, and then Goose is gonna go, and then Big D's gonna go. We're gonna ask you a question, and it's not gonna be a crazy question. It's gonna be questions that you've already been asked a million times. The fact that you are a supermodel and you work for your organization, how can you get other African American, Latino, and multicultural women to start smoking cigars?
well, actually, when I first started 14 years ago, I'm telling my age, there wasn't a lot at all, women, period, smoking cigars at all. It was very rare that you've seen them coming in the lounge, going to events, things like that. And now, within like the last, I say 5 years, it's like really, blowing up the cigar industry as far as bringing more women in, as far as consumers, not just working for the industry, but the the consumers. And I'm starting to see a lot of I'd say black.
That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of black women owning shops now. A bunch of them are popping up. The little mobile lounges they're doing, and there's just a lot of women, period, now just really, getting into cigars
And launching
expanding
brands,
it. I
too.
think there was stigma, like it's a guy thing, and
It's
so
not.
maybe women felt like they didn't belong. But then when you see the women in the industry working, I think that really helped to bring a lot of women consumers.
Get her, Goose. Get her, Goose. Ask
That's
her a
what
good
I
question.
think.
Well, when we in our humidor, when a woman enters the humidor, first of all, we treat her with respect. It's when I was an executive with Black and Mild for 21 years, and I became an expert in the C-store industry, the convenience store industry, and convenience store industry constantly trained their people to respect women when they're filling up their gas tank or coming into the store. Don't Google at them, don't stare at them. I know a lot of women when they walk into the humidor at other shops, Tia, across the United States, where's the flavored cigars? I'll show you where the flavored. That's a bad stereotype. That is really a bad stereotype, because a woman will enjoy the good taste of a Fratello cigar that tastes like tobacco with spices, with all kinds of flavors that come from that wrapper. But you're a pro.
Well,
You
funny
work.
that you say that, because when I first started, the one guy gave me this full body cigar. I don't think it was like a joke or something, and I was like, "What the heck?" But I could handle it. But then I said, "Oh, this is not something that I like." And so I started looking at the flavors, because I thought, maybe this is where I should start. And I graduated from the flavors very quickly. Very quickly. I was surprised. I thought I was going to stay there for a while. And then when I really it's all about, if you're a beginner, you got to show the customer a good beginner cigar. You can't give them something that's
Right.
going to turn them off, or something that's so complex they're not going to understand it in a way. So something, I don't want to call it basic, but just something with some flavor and not too strong to start anybody, a male or a female, out with. And I think that can hook them, and then that they can gradually, train their palate to go bigger and more complex and things like that. That's how I feel. So it's all about that first initial. Make sure you get them something nice, because a lot of people get turned off by smoking a cigar, period, if they had something bad and they didn't understand it. And they're like, "Oh, cigars just they're just bad." It's like, no, you had a bad one. That's what happened. Try this one and then tell me, and then they'll try to go, "Oh, you're right," So.
Agree,
Yeah.
100%.
We're going to have that video, because I was very impressed with that video, to play in our TV sets in the humidor. So that would be a beautiful thing to play on our TV sets. And Omar, this must have been like 4 or 5 years ago. You did a special video for us.
I did. I remember that. It's true. So I was so impressed by how because John, you know me. I have traveled probably to well over 1,000 some stores, okay, in this last 8 years. Like, I have not stopped. And the one thing that impressed me about when I came into your humidor, you had this TV inside. I'm like, what the?
Yeah, that's
great.
different.
Okay. And I was like, can you play sound on this? And it's like, yep. I'm like, okay. So I did a video where I was like, all right, Johnny, I want you to play this. I want you to make the sound and put it really loud. So I would be like, pop, 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 pop. You. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You see Fratello right there? Right there? Try one. Let me know what you think.
It
was so much fun.
You got to do that again.
Let's
You gotta
do it. Let's do it.
Now, if you look at real closely, this is a real point of differentiation. You look at the TVs in the lounge, in the bottom right-hand corner, it says "Installed by White Chocolate."
No, it does.
It does.
I seen that. It does say it's
Wow.
stalled.
This
White
guy
chocolate
over
there.
there,
Signature on there?
He
he
did.
installed those TVs. He was climbing up in the ceilings. Robert, come out here and take a bow. Come
Let's
out
do
here.
it.
and take a
Let's do
bow.
it. Let's
Come
do
Give
on.
it up to a Robert. Come
Take
on,
a bow.
Robert. White
Yeah.
chocolate
The TV
latte.
man.
Yeah, All-Star Cast. #1 FM dial radio. You know what it is. It's your turn, D.
Yeah.
Ask the queen.
So I'm gonna ask Tia a very important question, but it also includes Big O over here. How do you guys compliment each other when it comes to describing these cigars? Like, do you have your favorites and does Big O have his favorites, or do you both just talk about the same cigars? Who has a different palate, or how's your palate work?
2-point answer.
I don't know. It's a good
I don't.
2-point answer before you guys thinking about that. Also, I know that you're not a really big beer drinker, but you go and you enforce the beer. I know that you're a wine drinker. How would you do pairing as far as the cigars are concerned and your wine or liquor of your choice? Go ahead. It's a 2-point answer.
Again, I'm biased with the liquor because I'm tequila.
Okay.
So I'm Blanco all day.
Okay.
So a good Don Julio, some rocks, for me, goes with anything. So
Tequila is a great pairing.
It's
a hell of a pairing.
I love tequila.
Neat
Tequila's
or on the
got
rocks?
that spice on the end of it, and it
Okay.
really will bring out.
Talk to the sisters. Talk to them. Talk to them. they watching. They listening.
Yeah.
Talk to them. Tell
really
them.
bring out the notes. Again, sip the tequila, but it would really bring out the notes. And as far as a wine is concerned, again, I'm biased with wine too. I like a good Riesling, something sweet. I don't like dry or really red. I like something more on the lighter.
Now, does that
Yeah,
depend on
Riesling
the
is a good
cigar that
choice.
you're smoking,
And
whatever it is that you're drinking?
And does it depend on the day? Because a lot of hard-working models like yourself, it's a long, hard day. It can be a cold day or a hot day. You get home, put the kids to bed, throw something in the microwave. You sit back on your couch or your lounge. All of a sudden, you pull out your Riesling or you pull out your tequila, whatever the case may be. You smoke a cigar. I mean, that's when all the sisters need to know. They want to know what they don't understand. How after drinking a Fratello beer or wine or liquor, along with a couple sips of put some smoke in the air with a cigar, how much it relaxes you. So after that, you go and you take a nice bath or a hot shower
And
along
you
with
knocked
rose
out.
petal, and you knocked out. Tell them. They don't believe. Tell them.
She was- I remember the bath piece.
I knew nothing. I knew absolutely nothing, and I was thrown into a manager's position from day one because I could sell. So I knew nothing about a cigar, and I just had to go and try them. I mean, that's pretty much what you have to do. You just have to try every one. You can't look at a cigar and say, okay, I know what it's going to taste like and it's going to be great. No, a lot of people buy a cigar because of the presentation and, it might look good, but you don't know. So you have to try it. And as far as women, I would say don't put yourself in a box, like, hey, I treat myself just like the guys. Like, I'm one of you guys. Like, I don't even refer to myself as a woman in the cigar lounge. I refer to myself as a salesperson, a rep, and I love cigars.
And you smoke the cigars across the
And I
board, so
smoke
you
them
can talk
across
about
the
each.
board, just like everybody else. I don't like the infused candy-like ones.
Right,
I call
right.
them that. I like a real tobacco that has its own nuances, its own flavors, and the way that Omar puts them together.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, you really bring some stuff
Oh,
out
man,
because it's all about how you blend it.
Yep.
It's all about what you put together.
Yeah.
It's very
You
educational.
know what I'm picking up on?
What you picking up on?
I'm picking up on her passion, the way she's talking about.
Well,
it.
we're picking up what she's putting
I'm
down. How's that
I'm
sound?
picking up on it. She's like describing the cigars, the way Omar puts the cigar together. You know what I mean? She's really going in, and that just tells me how good of a selection you made and putting her on your team, because she has passion the way you have passion, and you share that passion. And that's why I asked that question around how do you complement each other around, the cigars. You have the same palate because you seem to agree and you seem to have, kind of like the same passion about what we're doing here.
No, I'll tell you. I'll take it a step further, Big D. I mean, I think one of the biggest things also is like the customer wants to see when they walk into the humidor. They're looking at Tia, they're looking at me, and we introduced ourselves, and we had the perfect example was outside. The gentleman was like looking for something, but he was like on a rush, and we wanted to like introduce ourselves. But Tia led off with one of her personal favorite cigars, which is the Fratello Oro, and I brought the Oro because obviously I knew she could speak to that particular brand because it was her favorite, right? But one of my personal favorites, what we're smoking right now, which is the Fratello Arlequin, and I've been obsessed with this cigar, guys. Get the Arlequin, I'm telling you. Got top 6 cigars last year for the dojo. It's been getting 92, 93, 94 rating on this blend. I think it's fantastic. It has tobacco from Peru, Nicaragua, and that's where it goes back to what Tia was saying with the blending of what we do. We take our time to put different leaves of tobacco from different parts of the world together so that it makes sense for the cigar smoker. But we have to love it first. If we don't love it, I don't care if it's like people have asked me, Omar, can you just do like a really strong cigar? I want a really, really full body Maduro, this and that. And I'm like, first of all, it doesn't matter if it's a Maduro. It can be a Maduro and it can be a medium body cigar. But it is like I'm just not a fan of like something that would just knock me out. I want something that is flavorful first, that has a balanced second, and that is complex, got a good long finish. And so looking at some these situations like that, we complement each other very well in the humidor because she's presenting the Oro with the passion that you heard her say, and I'm presenting the Arlequin saying, you guys, this will be a medium body cigar that will knock you out. Full flavor, full complexity, full balance.
Cool. So just a little bit about the blending process and how you, I'm going to call it taste test or smoke test. Like, how do you know this is the right blend? Do you sit around and smoke them? And how long does that process take before you say, oh, that's the right blend?
About a year and a half.
Wow.
Sometimes it's the amount of, it's the amount of iterations. Like, I'll give you an example of the Fratello Bianco. And I'm glad you brought this one out. This is the Fratello Bianco is the second cigar we ever launched as a company. This cigar has tobacco from 5 different countries. And the reason I have a size called 5x56 is because it took us 56 different iterations to come up with this blend. This is how amazing this is. I pull one leaf of this off, and this will be an entirely different cigar. Just one leaf of tobacco, half a leaf of tobacco can make an entirely different blend. So what we did with this particular cigar is I wanted to get a chance to try tobaccos from many different regions. So I put a Mexican San Andres Negro wrapper on the cigar. We put a Dominican binder, Olor Dominicano, and then we put Nicaragua, Peruvian tobacco, and then we used Pennsylvania broadleaf Ligero on this. Those 2 countries, guys, Mexico and USA, have never gone along so well other than this cigar right here. No wall. Just a very full flavor Mexican wrapper with USA tobacco filler, very balanced across the board. Every single ingredient plays a role. I call it combustible chocolate. It is phenomenal, and it's one of my personal favorite cigars in our lineup. But that gives you an idea of how long it takes.
A year. You hear that?
Do you hear
a year? So that means it's right when it comes out. You ever cook a cake for a year?
1 year, whole year. Put it back in.
Ain't that what that is?
Exactly.
That's cooking that cake for a year.
Yeah. You're letting that marinate.
I think that's like grandma's sweet potato pie. She takes a whole year before it's ready for Thanksgiving.
Speaking of a whole year, Big O, I just have a bucket list because I'm listening to you with the whole name, with the whole frat thing. I think that and you can say no, it's fine. But I think that Omega Psi cigar would be nice along with the whole brand. I think a Kappa Alpha Psi cigar. Yeah. And then I think a goat cigar that Big O and Goose, but just call it the goat, which it might be a little bit bigger.
I like it.
You know what I'm saying? But we can, and check this out. One for the sororities or one for the sisters or the goddess.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? Where it's still a full body cigar, but it gives you all the different flavors where you don't have to worry about all the, you know what I mean? Or, smoking a sweet cigar.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
You don't want to offend with a sweet
That's
cigar because they don't all smoke sweet
cigars.
That's what I'm saying.
It just sounds like it fits.
I don't know. It sounds like we got another idea here. Huh? Let's work on it.
Now, do you guys do podcasts or you do any type of TV or radio? Because you guys are natural at this. Yeah. I know that Goose and myself and Dee are given a chance and opportunity. We have the pleasure of interviewing you guys, talk to you guys. But you guys seem so much at home. You seem relaxed. You know all your information. Your brand is awesome. It is phenomenal. We love everything that you're doing. Could you do me a favor, Tia? Could you please introduce the beer? And then Big O, can you explain the beer and how you came up with the whole beer?
Absolutely.
Okay,
that's okay. Baby. We got you.
Okay, there's 3 different ones.
Yep.
And they're paired. So this one would pair with the Oro that I love so much, and it even has it on there, so it makes it easy. And he color coordinated them as well too.
Oh
wow! Wow.
You got to color coordinate, man. Don't wear those socks.
So there's 3 different kinds in the line, and I'm not a beer person at all. I apologize.
But she still loves it. I think.
Yeah.
No, you're
I'll
right.
I'll let him
the story behind the beer is it's really great. I'm a craft beer enthusiast as well. I'm an enthusiast of anything that gives me a lot of flavor. I'm going to be honest with you. I love wine. I love tequila as well. It really does. To me, it's the experience smoking a cigar is 100 and should be 100% tied to pairing it with your favorite beverage. And it doesn't necessarily have to be alcoholic. I mean, I think one of the best pairings in the world is coffee. I mean, have you ever guys, I'm encouraging your viewers to even comment here and ask us, it's like, have they ever paired the cigars with coffee? To me, I start my day, Tia knows this very well, everybody in my team, with a Fratello Classico. Boom. The Fratello Classico is my baby. It's the first one we ever launched. And my coffee in the morning. I go into that Corona, Fratello Classico Corona. I smoke it. It's got, this cigar in particular has like tobacco from Peru. We put tobacco from Nicaragua, Estelí. So it's very rich, meeting the full body. But I love it with coffee. So pairings to me is something that I think is incredible with cigars. That's why we launched our own YouTube channel. We got a YouTube channel called Imperfect Pairings. And you guys, if you ever see it, I mean, this is the kind of like YouTube channel that we try to find the weirdest, the most different kinds of pairings you can find. We did one in Philadelphia.
Like, give me an example. What's a weird pairing?
Dude, we went
Girl Scout
cookies. We've done it with Philly cheesesteak.
Oh, okay.
What was his name of the place that we did it at? De Los Angeles. Great Philly cheesesteak in De Los Angeles. What I tell you that. But we do a pairing with things that people are not as used to. And the reason we do that is because we want to highlight the fact that not only cigars are something to be shared and something to enjoy at a moment where you're just literally, having a moment for yourself, but it's also something that you can pair with, your significant other. I say that a couple smokes together, stays together. So people out there, go connect with that. That's very, very important. But pairings are great, man. So Imperfect Pairings, look it up and subscribe.
Cool.
It's a little plug.
That's a good thing. Now Omar, obviously you're a marketer. You create brands, you create front marks, this was like, it turned into a little mini focus group here. Cause I think the frat idea is a great idea.
Only because there's 2.5 million different fraternities and sororities. And if we can connect your name that you came up with the brother, along with fraternities and sororities, I think that will be huge. At least when you're walking in, if you walk into any type of cigar lounge and you don't know what the hell you're talking about, because it happens. I know that you know it. The people, I don't know. Well, hey, are you part of an organization? Are you a Mason? Are you a fraternity and sorority? Hey, well, you need to try Fratello. You know what I mean? Just try it. Hey.
That's a great idea.
Now to get the job done in cigars,
and we'll push it,
and with beer, you have to partner with factories. Who do you partner in the world of cigars with to make your Fratello cigars, and who do you partner in the world of beer to make your beer?
It's a great question. So for us cigars, we partner with the two oldest cigar factories in two cigar countries, Dominican Republic and Nicaragua. For Dominican Republic, we work with La Aurora. They've been in business for well over 100 years. With Nicaragua, with the oldest cigar factory still run by Nicaraguans, the only one, and it's Joya de Nicaragua. So these two factories have something that I believe, it doesn't mean that other factories do not have, but they have, to me, something that cannot be replicated, and it's time, right? I mean, it's like these people have taken their time and they've perfected the art for their businesses and have been able to grow it, scale it, and maintain it. And so that's valuable, to me. I think that's something that I put a lot of value to. But I honestly believe that if you're looking for something because that could happen as well. I mean, if I'm looking for something on a project like this, assume, we get off the air and we start thinking about all these different things and come up with a particular brand. It also has to fit, that brand, and that idea also has to fit with the factory.
Right.
It's not as simple as just, I want a cigar. I think I can come up with this brand. Let me go to XYZ company and let's see how it does.
Exactly.
It doesn't work like that. It's like it gets lost in translation very, very easily when you transmit the message of what do you want. Do you want something mild, medium, meaningful? Do you want something with a lot of flavor, complexity? Everybody will love the most amazing cigar ever, but
it's a lot of questions.
But there's a lot of questions when it comes to the factory itself. You know what I mean? Are they used to more medium to full body cigars to be able to work? Do they have more of like a Nicaraguan robust flavor? Do they have something more of like a finesse, more aromatic, kind of finishes to cigars? Every single factory, I believe, has kind of like its own identity, and I've toured them all. I've seen them all, and I feel like it just depends on what is the identity of the cigar and how can you really reflect that at the end of the day with the company that's going to produce it for you guys.
That's awesome information. Going back to the beer, what made you come up with the whole beer concept, and where can we go and purchase this beer? As we're speaking, we're drinking the IPA, the hazy. It is absolutely delicious.
Hazy IPA.
It is absolutely awesome. And I can see this, no disrespect. I hope they're over 21. Nice, but I can see this at a whole bunch of frat houses. What do you think, D?
Hey, chicken and beer. That's what we do. That's what we do. Cigars
and beers. You know what I mean?
Cigars and beers, chicken and beers. I'm telling you.
I can see the hazy,
It got a beautiful color to it.
Thank you. Around pledge time, I can see that.
Got a beautiful taste to it. And hey, I'm a beer drinker too.
Good.
I love my micro brews. I love any kind of.
What do you think so far about this?
I really like this flavor, man. The flavor is really good. The one thing though, the can, it matches the cigar wrapper.
Yeah, no. So it's not meant to match the cigar wrapper. In one case, it does. Just like the Oro Mexican Lager. Okay. This matches with the Oro. The Imperiale was a little bit different. I'll tell you why. It's because that was like that was my first baby. That was the one that I love, a great hazy. This is a double IPA. This is 8.5 ABV. Yeah. To me, out of all of the beer kinds and styles, the two that work the best, and by far, obviously a nice stout obviously is phenomenal because that darkness, that richness, that cocoa, that coffee is just meshes perfectly with cigar, especially with that sweetness and undertone sweetness to it. But people did not give enough thought to the hazies. And I'll tell you, the reason a lot of people get turned off by IPA is usually they think, oh my God, I'm going to get that bitter, like really hoppy. And it's not the case. As you can tell, look at the color of this beer. This beer style is rich in pineapple, is citrusy, but not over the top. It has a nice finish to it, which is definitely something you should search for when you're pairing a cigar, because a cigar is going to have a long finish. So you want something that can extend it. And so for me, that was a great something that we produced that I think was fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great actually.
Thank you.
Yep. And 8.5, I didn't realize it was 8.5. I'll tell you, like,
you better slow down, boy.
You might drink a regular lager or something that's like 5.0, 4.5 or something like that. But when you drink on this 8.5, you're gonna know it's gonna hit.
Put it in perspective. I mean, a bottle of wine for you, T, is like what, 12%? Yeah, that's a bottle. Yeah. It's like 12%.
Yo, you can get most of that just drinking by one can of beer.
100%. You do a 4-pack tonight, guarantee you're gonna feel it.
You're gonna be good. Smoke one of these. What am I smoking here? I know you're gonna go through the cigars, but I want to know what am I smoking?
That's Arlequin, man. I can't speak enough about this.
How do you say that?
So it's Arlequin.
Arlequin,
It's a 16th century Italian opera character. It's a buffoon that I used to watch as a kid growing up in the Dominican Republic. It was just a series called it Arlequin, and it was a very colorful character that was very particular to the Venetian carnival as well. And so what I did was, I wanted a fun offshoot cigar, something that I can become really creative, medium body, but rich and fun. And so that to me is what Arlequin is. It's got that Peruvian filler that has a lot of that, nutmeg, a lot of that coffee notes, but it's not overwhelming or as cocoa-ish as probably the Fratello Bianco and whatnot. So I'm smoking the same. Lee is obviously smoking the same.
That's good because I was going to ask how you come up with the names. Like, where do you get the name from? So that's good.
And the fact that you're coming up with the names, Bigo, can you go through the rest of your cigars real quick?
Absolutely.
Closing? We only got about 10 more minutes, but take your time.
Yeah.
If you could go, and because I know the goddess, she has somewhere to be. Could you go through the rest?
The baby.
Oh, the baby.
If I get
we love the
personal,
kids.
just
We love the
for a
kids.
little second,
We're gonna make sure.
on mommy.
I understand.
Personally on mommy.
Bigo, can you?
It's feeding time.
Can you go through the rest of your cigars, please, and just explain to all your listeners and all our supporters the rest of your cigars and how you came up with the name and what type of flavors and stuff that they have when they smoke your cigars, please.
So I told you guys briefly about the Fratello Classico, and this one right here is my personal favorite. It's the Corona size, and it's a cigar that you guys can also see on the screen. It's the first one on the run all the way to the left. This is a cigar that we produce at Joya de Nicaragua as well. And it's a cigar that has tobacco from Peru, Dominican Republic. It has tobacco from Nicaragua, and it's just a very balanced cigar. Ecuadorian Sumatra on the binder, so very, very full flavor. And it's to me the perfect size in that lineup is the Corona. A lot of people don't pay too much attention to Corona, but I think Corona in that line works amazing.
Corona is my favorite size. I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of blenders, that's what they do. They start with the Corona size. So I mean, you really get everything to me you need in a Corona.
Yeah, and so the Fratello Bianco, I already told you guys a little bit about that. Remember those two countries, guys. I've never gotten along so well in the Fratello Bianco. Okay?
That's important.
So remember that. And the Fratello Oro, obviously, Tia spoke about it as well. It's a cigar that we also put together with 5 different countries. A lot of people think it's easy to put together something like this and something as complex, something that gets very, very high ratings, not just with one, blogger, but multiple bloggers, multiple magazines. And I think that's what really speaks volumes to a particular blend. That cigar has an Ecuadorian Connecticut shade wrapper with tobacco from Cameroon, Africa, on the binder, one of the most expensive tobaccos in the world. And then it has the Dominican tobacco, it has Nicaraguan on the filler, and it's got Colombian tobacco.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got
Okay.
It's very rich. It's got that. It's a little cubita tobacco. It's called cubita tobacco. It's very rich, very hearty. It's
What does the
phenomenal.
word oro mean?
So oro means gold in Italian. Yeah,
Okay.
oro is gold in Italian and in Spanish as well. They both written the same way. Bianco is white in Italian. A lot of people started giving me a hard time over the white. It's like, what's going on, man?
Bianco
Brother,
chocolate.
white. This is like, what's up about our brothers? You know what I mean? White brothers, like Fratello Bianco. I'm like, we'll come over with Fratello Nero, But we did get our share of slack from some certain people. So we won't talk about them. But one of the cigars that you see here on the left and in your screen, guys, is called the Fratello Navetta. Perfect. Yeah. You're smoking this cigar. It is so good, man. It's a cigar. I always call it the one that if my daughter ever gets married, that's the one that's going to go to the wedding.
It's great.
I actually saved. I'm not kidding. You guys want to get invited to this wedding? I'm telling you right now. If she ever gets married, there's gonna be a good 50 boxes of the Fratello Boxer Atlantis have been aging in my humidor. And whenever that comes out, man, it's gonna be sick.
Getting one.
Oh, it's gonna be insane. So it is a cigar to me. La Vetta stands for shuttle in Italian because I worked in a few space shuttle missions myself as a support analyst. And one of the things that I find interesting about the box, if you guys take a chance to look at the box, is we made the box look like a space shuttle tile. Wow. So the box literally is what the tile is what helps and prevents the orbiter from obviously disintegrating when it comes to Earth. So it's got to be intact. It sustains over 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit on a single tile alone, and then you can put your finger. It's totally fine. So that particular cigar is incredible. We age it for 4 years. It's a little bit higher price one because of that. It goes to $13 to $15, but the blend is extraordinary. And we use on that cigar, and this is why I'm so happy you gave me an opportunity to speak about every blend, because every blend has a story within our company. We're not the kind of company that's just going to grab a whole bunch of cigars,
Right.
throws them up in the air, and say, "Oh, that one's stuck. Let's go with this."
Yeah.
We're very methodical about every step we take, and so we wanted to make a cigar that was meant for celebration, meant for a cigar that could be aged as well,
So
and
that
that's
personal.
a blend.
It's personal. The
Very
whole
personal.
process is very personal.
Very personal. And so the follow through after that, it was meant to be utilizing tobaccos that were reflected of the original Fratello Navetta and the standard Navetta Inverso, and that's going to be on the screen. It's going to be this one right here. It's a phenomenal cigar, and it's the easiest cigar I have ever done. So I blended that cigar by basically inversing all the tobaccos that were inside the Navetta blend, and I put them in that one.
Wow.
So all I did is the wrapper is now this guy's binder. The binder in Navetta is now in this guy's filler. And the filler of that is now part of the family of the wrapper of that cigar. Easiest blend I've ever done, but it's a broad nuances of that blend that was very unique.
That's
And
awesome.
so, yeah, and I told you guys about the Arlequina as well, briefly on that. And I think, I know you will find something within the Fratello lineup that you will 100% love and adore.
That's awesome.
Great line.
Could you do us a favor, Big O? Can you shout out the rest of your organization, people who are not here but got a chance and opportunity? Because we're going to air this on your YouTube page or your social media page. Can you also shout out your lovely daughter and any family members? And me, D, along with Goose, we're doing some other bundles. And with the bundles that we're doing, I mean, Goose is a big Monte Cristo dude, and along with Romeo and Juliet. But we also wanted to see if we can get your okay. You can say no, it's okay. To also add in your bundles.
Let's
too.
do it. Let's do it. Whatever John says.
Sell
We
it
need to,
out.
you know what I love to do is maybe change the band of the dog and put a little Fratello band around.
There you go.
Then we'll have a little.
That's nice.
Can you see it, John? I
That
can
would
see
be
it
nice.
too.
I
That would
can
be
see
nice.
that.
So I just want to go around the room before we close, man. This has been an awesome opportunity. We've learned so much. We got a chance to get personal with you
A lot of
and
fun.
T. If you could close out and give any shout outs and love to all the people who you love and respect. To you also make sure that you take care and give love to the baby, and then we'll close out.
And look in the screen. Look in the
Yeah,
screen.
look at the
Yeah.
screen when you
So,
do it.
guys, I first of all, I mean, sure.
Yeah, that's because you're better
So-
that didn't come out right.
Come on now, Thea. Come on now.
at All right, so I just want to say thank you to all my followers. Honestly, you guys have been with me from the beginning, and I appreciate it. I know I'm not big on social media. I'm trying. I really am. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Mommy will be home in a minute. And want a special shout out to my boss. Thank you, Omar. This is a great opportunity. I haven't repped. This is my first rep job. I've just always worked in
You're gonna be
retail.
great.
So it's a little different, but I like it so far.
Did you enjoy yourself? Did you have a good time?
Right now?
Yes.
We're
Cool.
coming back. This is like our new
Oh,
home.
No, you guys are family now.
They're
You're
coming
family.
back.
It's on, baby.
Oh,
It's
I
on.
forgot to tell you.
It's 20 minutes from my house.
And Goose keeps on kicking me underneath the table. But now that you guys got a chance and opportunity to come here, because we call it Goose's Goats. When you're you're greatest of all times. Your organization and your brand is the greatest of all times. Anytime that you are around, you come here. This is your house. We'll call White Chocolate. I'll get D. He'll be 10 minutes late, and we will go. We will go and do a live show every time that you're here. I don't care what it is, Big O. I don't care. You know, when you come out with that Omega Sci-Fi, or you come out with the Cap Alpha Psi, you come out with the Goose. The goats, you know what I mean? Because I'm telling you, you got 2.
I didn't even notice. It was already like in the process.
You got 2.5 fraternities and sororities that can't wait. As soon as they come up with a fraternity brand, bro, you're gonna make a whole bunch of money. So go ahead and close out. Shout out your daughter and the rest of your business. And
I mean, first of all, thank you to you guys for bringing us on board, and John, for your support. It really means a lot, and Tia, for you taking the time away from family and continue to help us grow the brand. I can't thank you enough, seriously. And to everybody and all the viewers out there, guys, it's. I think that there's a level of importance into supporting your brick and mortar, supporting your retailers everywhere they are, and going in and asking questions. I think one of the biggest things that a lot of people do not pay enough attention to is the service aspect and the uniqueness of, you can buy your cigars from anywhere. You can probably buy beer anywhere, any 7-Eleven, but you go to a bar because you like the service, you like to enjoy the company, you enjoy the camaraderie, and that's what cigars are the exact same way. This is a community that is built upon a lot of people. This is a very, very small niche family community that we don't have the multi-billion dollar industries and whatnot, but we have craft. We have people that care, and the people that do this because they love it. I can guarantee you, John could also be making way more money, and I could be making more money. You could be making, a lot of people could be making more money than cigars, but I'll tell you that it is a different experience when you do something that you love, and when you do something that other people can enjoy as well, because they connected with you and they connected with the vision. So I won't back down from the continuous growth of where we're heading to, and to all of our fans, to our families, and everybody. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys light up our Fratello next time. So
well, there it is, man. We'd like to thank everybody for checking in with us today. We'll see you on the other side. Big shout out to Fratello. Make sure you go out to the nearest place right now. Hopefully it's his Gooses Lounge, and get your cigars along with your beer. Shout out to Big Goose, shout out to D, shout out to Big O, and shout out to T. We'll see you guys on the other side, man. We love you guys. We'll see you. Gooses Goats, greatest of all times, baby. Fratello, you know what it is.
Ask for it. Tell them to go get it.
White Chocolate, can you come over here and take a picture?